yeah, and you kind of like go, oh, that's why. So as you see, like the first episode, I feel like the first episode of any show, you're like, what is going on? What?
Tell me about the night I was born.
Give me my baby!
I saw something weird last night. You're not real, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. What are you?
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, Crystal.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. You look so fashionable. I'm just like in a t-shirt. You look like you're going to like an award show or something.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Any chance I get to put on a little bit of lipstick, I'm for it. Because I literally look like I'm homeless every single day in my house because like where are we going, right?
True. I mean, I guess I feel kind of privileged then that you decided to put your best for this. So
That's
appreciate it.
So I just want to make sure, am I cutting up at all?
No, you're good.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, everything's good. The sound's good, the camera, everything. So no worries.
Awesome.
I got to ask, like, your setup, I love it. I like the pink couch. And what room is this? Tell me more about this.
This is my lady cave, okay? This is where I do my auditions, and this is where I read and meditate. And so I'll just show you. This is my little reading area.
Very nice. Look at that.
And then I shoot my auditions back there. That's it.
That's a nice setup. That's a cool place to kind of get away, especially for like auditions and doing things like that. That's cool that you made yourself a lady cave. I love it. I
had to, right? In my basement. And so, I have a 1-year-old and a husband. So this is where I come when everyone's sleeping and I just want some me time.
Absolutely. And I like the purple, paint on the walls too. It just gives it a cool vibe. It's awesome. It's like one of the coolest things I've seen.
Thank you.
Where are you at currently?
Right now I'm in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Is it snowing out there or?
Yes, it's snowing. Yes.
We're getting 6 to 8 inches here in Chicago in the next few hours. So
wow, it sounds about the same as here. Yeah, it's been actually really, really beautiful the last, I would say, 2 months. It hasn't really been cold. Like I'm new to this city.
That's right. You're from LA, coming from LA too. So
yeah. So it's kind of cool. I'm just trying to find the beauty in it, and when it snows, go outside and kind of just be like, wow, this is nice.
Yeah.
Pick up some snow and blow it.
There you go. Yeah, it's not the fake snow in LA that on set snow that the machine generated one. So that's cool. Exactly. Yes. Well, I'm really excited to get to talk to you. You're kind of completed trifecta. I spoke to Joel and Kalani in the last couple of weeks, so now I feel like the trilogy is complete now.
Oh, I love it.
They are such cool people. Like, I got to ask you from the start, how fun was it to work with them? Because they had so many praising things to say about you, how wonderful you were to work with, especially Joel, about how cool it was to interact with you and kind of like be guided by you. But how fun was this crew and set? Because it seems like you guys were like genuinely like a family, and everyone just seems so nice.
We really were. We really were like a real family. Well, first of all, Joel and Kalani, working with them both was just amazing. Just to be part of Joel's journey, because he's such a young actor, but he's so beautiful inside, and he's such a sweet boy, young man. It was just incredible. We had chemistry reads with a few other. I had chemistry reads with a few other young men. Young boys that were potentially going to play my son. And like, as soon as we read together, it was just like instant chemistry. And there was just that click with us. And, Kalani, he's just amazing.
Yeah. Such a great, I find him to be so introspective and so like deep, with every answer he gave me. And he's just that unique kind of individual.
I really think if he wasn't an actor, he would be a life coach or a therapist, or like, he is just incredible. He's an incredible person.
He's got a very calming like voice and sound and presence too. It just makes you feel good, hearing him talk. It's just very calming, like everything's going to be all right,
Agree. 100%. Yes. He's the one I call when I'm like, Kalani, what's going on with this. What do you think I should do? And he's like, Crystal. And you're right. As soon as you hear his voice, it's like, okay. Yeah. So, you know, it just, there's sometimes a wonderful thing that happens with your fellow actors. You just click, and you know, Kalani's also a rehearsal junkie, so we just loved running lines. I could call him anytime, and he's a good supportive actor as well. You know, a lot of times when you come in for close-ups, the other actor isn't on camera, right? But he would always be there for my emotion to be authentically there, and that's just wonderful.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's just great, and same with Joel. I just love them both to pieces.
Yeah, I mean, it just I can't get over the fact that, like, so I'm watching it in real time on the CW. I could get the spoilers because obviously it's been out in Canada for a while. You can buy it, but I'm enjoying the shows by the moment. So I'm 2 episodes in, waiting for the 3rd one. But I just keep on wondering. I'd ask that to Joel and Kalani. I'm like, how can you guys wrap so much of this story and then so much of these characters? They all have something to offer individually. You know, it's not like one character dominates. Each one has a story and uniqueness, but like in only 6 episodes, I need more of this show. I need more seasons. I need more episodes. Tell me something here. Kalani left some hope that there could be more potentially, but wow. I mean, what can I expect in the next few episodes? And is there a hope for more potentially? Because there's so much root of this story that needs to be told and could be told, probably more.
Yes. You know, in the first season, obviously, there's only 6 episodes. Yes. And how do you take a full-on book and turn it into, you know, 6 one-hour episodes? I mean, it must have been for the writers incredibly difficult to pick and choose what to put in there because there's so much. I would recommend reading the books as well because you'll get like the full experience. It's just incredible. But, you know, I would say there's no preparing for the next episodes to come because there's so much coming to you from different ways. I mean, you have the mythology aspect, you have the, you know, the family story, you have all kinds of things going on at one time. So I really feel like there's something for everyone in this series. You know what I mean? It touches everyone. So all I can say is fasten your seatbelts because it's about to get bumpy.
I like that. There you go. That's a heck of a promo for the remainder 4 episodes right there.
Yes. A lot of, you know, grab your Kleenex. And then also, you know, make sure that you're not afraid of the dark because there's some scary stuff that happens too. And some questionable characters come into play as well. So it's really fun. It's such a fun time to be a part of.
I mentioned to Joel that, like, you know, I'm like, after watching the first episode, like, I'm trying to start a GoFundMe for Jared, you know, to get him out of that town. I'm like, we need to get Jared out of there. He's got too much weight on his shoulders to take care of everything. Then you know, we have Wade coming in and all the supernatural stuff. Like, this kid cannot handle potentially more.
Poor kid, right? I still watch the first episode and I'm like, poor baby Jared, you know, like give the boy a break. Like the poor guy, he's everyone's parent. You know, he's taking care of his mom. He's taking care of his dad. He's paying the bills. I mean, he's just.
It's easy to connect with that character because you can't help but root for him. You know, there's no, like, you just feel for him from the start. And I felt like that was so well illustrated by the writers. Like, you get hooked into him initially right away. And you have Joel, who's charming. And I love the fact that I don't think he realizes how good he is of an actor and performer, and you can see that natural kind of authenticity come off in Jared's character, and I love that about Joel, especially seeking into. He's kind of innocent in that way. He wasn't spoiled by Hollywood in any sense, and he brings this realness to Jared, and I just felt like that was so encapsulated, you know, by the writers and by Joel.
I couldn't agree more. There is definitely, there's an innocence about him. And like you said, a charm and just a natural, you know, he's a natural, and he brings that like, and he's also just gorgeous, you know? And so
he looks like a movie star. He looks like a movie star, you know? And that.
He really does. I couldn't have picked a better movie son.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing, Crystal. I will admit it. The first few minutes of the show, when I started watching, I'm like, I thought you were Jared's girlfriend because you look so youthful. I kid you not. I'm like, wait, that's his mom? Are you kidding me? It was a little bit of a shock for me. I automatically assumed you were like his girlfriend or something.
Yeah, I've heard that a few times. I'm like, oh, I really could be his mother, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's that native skin. I don't know.
It must be something. Maybe there's some kind of mythology or supernatural thing. Yeah, you guys have a fountain of youth because everyone looks so youthful. Kalani, you guys are all just like, that's what you aspire to be.
Yes. Well, as you see in the second episode, the audience does find out that Maggie is a witch. So,
that's right. And that's how we ended off. That was the thing. That's what it keeps you like, whoa, what's happening next week? Because that was kind of out of left field.
Right. Yeah. And you kind of like go, oh, that's why. So as you see, like the first episode, I feel like the first episode of any show, you're like, what is going on? What's going on? But by the more episodes you watch and the more you get into it, it starts to unveil what's really going on. So yeah, Maggie isn't fully crazy. She's a witch.
Yeah, and I kind of appreciate that fact that, even though it's kind of a short season with 6 episodes and 1 hour episodes in that sense, but I appreciate how always like a pilot first episode establishes the characters and the family dynamic, because we have time for the supernatural technically. Like that's where kind of things start unraveling, but I want to know the relationship first. I want to know these characters. I want to know what they're about. And I always appreciate that. And I think CW's actually done a great job. They did the same thing with the Walker series too. They really established the characters instead of all the action and fighting and all that. Like I like that groundedness to the first episode to kind of get to know who I'm going on a journey along with.
I'm so glad you said that because that was really, really important for the creators of the show and for Eden, the creator of this whole story. She was very, very adamant on having the relationships established. And ultimately, that's what this is about. It's about family relationships, first of all. And then, like you said, as you go on, everything else kind of trickles down and fills it up a little bit. But if you notice as well, what I really loved about the first and second episode is how explosive each one of the characters is introduced. Like you have Maggie coming in, and then you have Wade, by the freaking bus stop, just like, eluding coolness. And then you have Anna, who comes out to this like amazing song and just with this thing of meat, and she's just like, every character is introduced so beautifully, and just with such a bang. I loved it.
Did you have any collaboration with Eden, regarding the show and the roles or whatnot? Was there any sort of collaboration, or are you just kind of taking it textually?
There was no collaboration as far as, she had already written the book, and I hadn't even read the book until I got the audition.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I read the book after I got the audition, and I was just like instantly enthralled. Like I was just blown away by, number one, the characters, and the fact that I was reading for Maggie, which I was like, wow, I've been working my whole career to play something like this. Like I can't wait, it was like incredible. But I did have a conversation with her afterwards when I saw her on set, and I was just like, very just giving her praise and just so thankful that she had written a character like this, and I got to play her.
So dynamic.
I really do want to give the character justice to what the writer is in picturing of that character.
And you know what? The show feels like a movie, I'd say, more so than even a show, because you have kind of a serious dynamic aspect of the family life and these characters, but they're so layered. That's the cool thing. Like you don't see that often in shows, that the characters have so many dimensions to them. It's not just like one thing you see on a surface. There's especially Maggie's character, like here's a mother, she's got issues, she's struggling, but she cares about her son. You can tell that he means a lot to her, but then you find out she's a witch within. It's like, it's got a movie kind of sense to this as through 2 episodes at least.
Right. It absolutely does. I felt, like you mentioned, Maggie she's a multidimensional character. I mean, there's so many things going on, so many different layers. And so for me as an actor, I mean, like I said, I have been just I feel like I've been working my whole career to be able to play something like her, to someone like her, you know, who struggles with it's, to me, it's transgenerational trauma. You know what I mean? There's never been any healing from the generations. And so she does the best with what she knows how. She loves her son. She'll do anything for him, but she doesn't show it in the most healthy way because she hasn't learned that, you know? And so I feel like she masks what I chose, is she masks everything with substance, with men, with whatever she can get her hands on for a distraction. But if someone messes with her baby boy, you know, all hell breaks loose.
Protective to the core.
Yeah, I mean, I was a brand new mother on the show. I had a 3-month-old son, and so, you know, it's different when you play a mother role and you're not really a mother. I mean, look, I'm not, you know, in any way saying you can't do it, but there's something that happens like when you actually become a mother. And so I was so happy that it's like, boom, you feel this mother bear like feeling, you know, and so that happened, you know, that happened when I had my son. And then so when I was playing a real mother, it was just there naturally, you know?
Yeah, that maternal instinct, that real life relatability. There's only, there's the acting part you can envision and imagine and make it realistic, but there's another thing when you bring reality into something that you don't have to go that extra kind of like imagine you just feel it innately, probably, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
there were some things, you know, technically that you have to work on with technique and stuff like that, you know, like the mental illness, the hearing voices, and the physicality of her, and, you know, why is she the way she is, the backstory of her and such. So that was the fun part, but also you have to go to some pretty dark places to be able to portray that authentically as well.
No question.
So quite a ride.
You know, I knew you looked familiar because I'm a fan of the American Pie series. So band camp, that's where it started, you know, in a lot of ways. How fun was it working out? Like you see like Eugene Levy now getting huge, like kind of notoriety with Schitt's Creek but I just enjoy the American Pie franchise. They're always fun movies from the start. What was it like to be part of it? They kind of look back now. I mean, it's kind of earlier on in your career, and now you're a mom, and everything about you is probably the opposite of band camp and an American Pie. But how do you look back on that experience?
Oh man, that was honestly one of the most fun projects I've done, because like you said, Eugene Levy, and working with all my, you know, my peer actors who, you know, who I used to see around, and then being in a movie with them and something that had a name, it was incredible. I got to sleep at home every night. We were shooting in LA, so I had to drive to set every day. Yeah, and then I met some, you know, I'm still friends with a few of the other actors, but being in the scenes with Eugene Levy, I mean, the man is hilarious. I mean, he does the eyebrow thing once, and they're literally like, "Cut, Crystal, you're laughing again." I'm like, "I'm sorry, this guy is just freaking hilarious. He's so funny." And the fact that he's Canadian, you know,
that's right,
was really cool. Yeah, it was a blast working on American Pie. And I got to play, you know, a fun, like, gothy character, which I'd never done before either. So it was more of a you know, creating a character, you know, character, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah, you got the fun character too, because it's always like these sexy cheerleader kind of like sorority girls, and you had the fun kind of American Pie character. I remember.
Yes, exactly. And I had been playing those other kinds of parts, and I was like, man, give me something that I can, you know, have fun with. So yeah, that was fun. Chloe.
One thing I learned quickly about you from Joel was that he's talking about you and your husband, about you guys rapping. I'm like, what? Like, I wasn't aware of that initially, and then I went to deep dive into it afterwards, because I was kind of blown away from Joel and how he was into that and talking about you about that. Tell me how that came about, how your kind of musical and rapping career, and you joining up with your husband to do it too. I want to hear more about this.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun story. So, you know, growing up as an actor, I mean, sometimes it's feast or famine. Like, you're either working or you're not working. So as your stereotypical actor, you know, bartending on the side and DJing. I was a DJ as well. And so I was DJing all over Hollywood at the time, and I had a photo shoot for this magazine. And so Red Cloud, my husband now, was a rapper, and he was like, "Hey, I need a DJ for this tour that I'm going on in Canada, and I heard you're Canadian." He didn't tell me he was a fan of Three Ninjas and American Pie. He was just like,
there you go.
Lightning, you're that DJ girl. Oh yeah, and you're from Canada. I need a Canadian DJ and I can pay you. And I was like, okay, I'm listening. So we ended up going on tour.
Part, you know, like, oh wow, you actually get paid for this gig. Cool.
Yeah, a nice amount. So we ended up going on tour together for 2 weeks. And during that tour, you know, we were in Ontario, Canada. And so a lot of times there's like 7-8 hours of a stretch that there's nothing going on. So you're listening to music. So something came on the radio, and I was in the back seat and I was rapping to it. And he was like, "Crystal, you sound really dope." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." He goes, "I want you to do a hook for me when we get back to LA, but I need you to do it in an accent, like an English accent." I was like, "Oh, you want me to talk like this? No problem. I love it. I'm an actress. I'll do whatever you want." He was like, "Yeah, that's what I want." So we went back to LA. We recorded this song called Get Tribal. And the hook was like, "Ladies, rock your hips. All the fellas, put your hands up just like this. It's about to get tribal in this bitch. It's about to get tribal in this." And like, yeah. We put the song out, and honestly, like, people loved our chemistry together. Like, they just loved it. So then we recorded another song and another song. And then, long story short, we ended up entering, that's how Lightning Cloud was made. I was his DJ for something, and then I found out that I could rap. And so we started getting gigs and gigs. Then we had an album out, and then we entered this contest in LA for Power 106 called Who's Next? Battle for the Best. 3,000, musicians in California. We ended up winning this contest for the West Coast, going to South by Southwest and battling the person who won from New York. So now it's West and East.
Wow, that's coast by coast. Whoa, okay.
Oh, it was crazy. In front of Kendrick Lamar, in front of Timbaland, in front of a bunch of heavies, the 2 radio stations. And the last battle was the 2 guys had to freestyle battle against each other. And Red Cloud, my husband, is like, he's broken the Guinness Book World Record, 18 hours straight for freestyle. Like, he is a master at improv. He blew this guy out of the water, and we ended up winning the whole contest. And that put us on the map. We got our music on the radio. We got to work with, we got a song produced by Timbaland. We got to work at Will Smith's studio. We won $10,000. Like, it was a nice kit for us to kind of start our music career. And so I kind of rode that wave for a while, and it was a blast. We won all kinds of awards, and we have 2 albums out now. And then I started working on some solo stuff as well, because, again, like, if you're not, making a movie or a TV show, like, I have to find a different way to stay creative. And so music is another one of those outlets for me. And so, yeah, I just put out a song called Riot, which is out now, and the music video, and working on some other stuff just to keep, it's fun for me. I love it. It's a blast, writing songs and then putting them out and staying creative, basically. Yeah.
Who would have thought it started in a long car ride through Ontario? You know what I mean? Wow, what a beginning. Holy crap. That's something, by accident in a way, and credit to him for catching on to it really quick, And
oh yeah, by the way, I was like, "There's no way I'm dating you because you're a rapper and I don't date rappers." And he was like, I totally had this different kind of idea about, musicians or whatever. And my mom dated rock stars my whole life and stuff. And so I was like, no, I'm not gonna date a musician ever. And we ended up falling in love, and we're still together, and now we have a baby. And
that's amazing. So I'm just kind of curious, when did the romance part of it start during this whole kind of career renaissance that you guys joined up on?
Honestly, it started when we were on tour together. He would when I was DJing, he'd draw me these pictures of me DJing and little things. I had a couple auditions. He would come to my house and read with me. He ordered these special nail color pens, and he would do designs on my nails and like really working it. Wrote a
Wow,
song about
that's putting an effort.
And then I was like, you know what? I think this guy might be all right, So we went on a date. He took me for pie, didn't try to kiss me. And I was like, what is going on with this boy? He didn't even try to kiss me. Walked me to the door and said, next time I'll pick you up. We went, and then we went to the movies, and then we made out, and that was it. I was in love. We were in love. Absolutely fell in love with each other.
I'm taking tips. I swear to you, I'm like, I don't know where I fail all the time with dating. maybe I see something here that he did I could do, because like if we don't kiss on the end of the first date, if it goes well, then she's gonna friend zone me. That sort of thing you always think about. But hey, that's
I think he didn't try to, like, he wasn't trying to push,
Yeah.
even though he was very smooth and yeah, the whole art thing really was nice.
Damn, tell him I appreciate this advice kind of and his technique, because I think I might have to incorporate this kind of, this relaxed persona and really approach. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. The courting process was so fun.
And it worked. So that's
God, there was
phenomenal.
one other thing. He's like, he told me later, he goes, I was so broke, I didn't have any money. And he goes, I was trying to figure out, like, what can I give Crystle Lightning? And he was like so cute about it, because he said, I've been a fan since Three Ninjas. That was my first movie when I was 10.
Wow, yeah.
Like, but anyway, he was like, oh God. So when I came home, he had painted a mural of this photo shoot I did a few years before that, a whole mural of me on the wall. And I walked in, and it was like, it blew me away. I just was like, oh my God.
Wow. Well, damn, his effort really, it had to pay off. Come on, Crystle. After all this work he put in, it had to pay off. So I'm glad that you guys made it work.
Me too. It's been fun.
That's awesome. And having a baby, that's cool that, you get to experience a new chapter in your life in that way too, and that's what life's about. It's cool how things work in mysterious ways,
I know, it's incredible. When I look back at everything, how everything worked out, it's just so neat.
Yeah, you could never control that. You could never control or picture that.
Yeah, exactly. If I were to tell my younger self anything, it would just be like, you know what? Just do what you love. Everything's gonna work out. Chill. Yeah.
I think that we might have a movie script in all of this at some point down the road.
Yeah.
I love talking to you. I'm so glad that we got a chance to connect, and I enjoyed. I mean, I love the show, and obviously your castmates are just phenomenal. I hope this somehow goes on. There's another renaissance, and we get another season or more stories to tell. And if not, then it's still a great thing that you guys accomplished. And I'm going to be searching your music now. That's for sure.
Please do, Jim. Yes. Enjoy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Crystle, for taking the time. I hope to connect with you again.
Yeah. Great interview. Thank you. Love your energy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Okay. Have a good day.
You too.
Trickster.
Trickster, the CW series premiere January 12th, stream free next day.